Fabulous. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about our last, but not by any stretch of the imagination, least honoree of the evening, David Lloyd. Yes, I agree. Some people might think of David as a numbers man. After all, he helped create and engineer the SPQM dashboards that have really transformed behavioral health data into actionable information. But David Lloyd is much more than that. Well before founding MTM Services, he spent 20 years as CEO of a multinational corporation. When he retired, he joined the board of a neighborhood community mental health center, where he tried to apply proven strategic business principles and was told, no, that won't work here. Now that was before this era right now, right? When we're all trying to apply proven business principles in this very competitive healthcare world. But David decided they were wrong, it would work. So he got in the trenches and he ran a center himself. He quickly increased treatment by 66%, and he reduced wait times by almost 90%. And then he and MTM Services have gone on to work with and to help 700 organizations in the United States, Canada, and the Netherlands. And his help has gone from what began really as the SPQM dashboards all the way to business and leadership development, executive coaching, change management, and an array of clinical and business initiatives. Those organizations, when I talk to many of them today, really credit much of their success to David. So David is far more than a numbers man. David is a humanist, because when you enhance service capacity, you serve more of the people that need your help. When you reduce wait times, the people that need your help get it sooner. And when organizations operate on strong business principles, they better serve their communities and they're better stewards of our public dollars. David has a very simple mantra that's shared by most successful corporations: put your customers first. David Lloyd is a visionary leader for the ages, and at the National Council, we are very proud to call him partner and a very good friend. Please join me in welcoming David.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is unbelievable. It's what a privilege. And I want to thank Linda. I want to thank Jeannie Campbell. I want to thank Chuck and Golia. I want to thank Mohini. I want to thank so many of the National Council staff that we've had the privilege of working with over the past 20 years. I can't tell you how much their support and their encouragement. In fact, Jeannie, if you recall, years ago, in '97, when you asked to write the first book and to be a part of consulting, you really supported our work when it wasn't very popular. And so many people said, this doesn't apply, this doesn't really apply. But Jeannie never, ever, ever gave up. And then when Linda arrived, and Chuck and the others, what a change. And what Linda has embraced it, she has supported us, she has loved us. And Chuck, wherever you are, you're my brother. And I'm so proud of you for what you've done. I think you're right over here. But, you know, I'll be honest, I call Chuck some days just to hear his laugh, because he lifts me up. He's got the best. In fact, we told his wife today. We said to Julie, we took a vote in the MTM booth, and we said, we're going to tell, when you go home, tell Chuck that he is very privileged to have you as his wife, and that it was a consensus decision on aisle 800 in the exhibition hall. True to accountable care, I've been doing some calculations, and over the past 20 years, it's been my privilege to be in hotels and motel rooms 14 of those years, in work years. I think my fourth book is going to be about my experiences in hotels and motels. But I say that because I've had to have some support and understanding. And I've asked my family here tonight, because I wanted them to get a chance to meet the most wonderful people in the world that I've had a chance to work with, and that's you. You've privileged me, and you humble me by asking me to come to your center and to talk. And for our team, our MTM team, asking them. I can't tell you what a privilege. I've had so many people say to me, why do you keep doing this? And some nights I'll say the same thing. But I want to tell you why. And I try to end every leadership essentials or leadership institute. We did one on Sunday here. But I try to end it this way because I never ever want the leaders of our industry to lose focus. And I never want to lose focus because you see, this has been more than a job. It's been a mission and it's been a privilege. And what I found when I got to the board, as Linda said, to the mental health board, I thought we had some chances to change some things. We had 800 people waiting for service when I got there. And we needed to change how we delivered it. So my job after 2 years, after retiring, I stayed on the board for 2 years and then I applied for a job. One of the things I found at that center is that I went to NAMI meetings and I found that we had a group of persons who needed some help. They were kind of in their homes, they were not coming back for treatment. And so I said to the NAMI members, why don't we start a group? I'd studied Rogerian methodology, group methodology, and so we did. And so the first night we had 6 people in the group, Tuesday night. And one of those, and I'm going to call him Dino, that is not his name, but Dino was there, and Dino had schizophrenia. His brother was a physician. His sister was a PhD research analyst. And he felt like the black sheep of the family. And so we talked about goals, and we talked about dreams. And I said to Dino, I said, what do you want to do? And he looked at me and he said, I want to have a license, I want a car, and I want to date. And I said, well, let's see what we can do. So for 3 years, and by the way, the first night Dino came, if he went to the restroom one time, he went 37 times. He was very, very anxious. He was very, very nervous to be there. And so at the end of the evening, we started and continued this group for 3 years as I was on staff. And the last Thursday night, or Tuesday night, guess who co-facilitated with me? Dino. And so 2 years later, I was in this town, and I was going to the post office to mail some packages. And I walked out, and there was a florist next to us. And guess who walked out? It was Dino. And he had a coat and tie on, and he had a bouquet of flowers. And I said, Dino, man, you're looking good tonight. And he said, you see these flowers? I said, yes. He said, I got a date. I said, who with? He said, Kathy. You remember Kathy in the group? And I said, you sly fox. You sly fox. I knew there was another reason you were coming to those groups. And he said, we're going to go to dinner and a movie. And he looked around and he said, do you see my car? And so I went over with Dino and sat in all 4 seats. We raised the hood, we raised the trunk. But you know what? The reason those nights in the motels, the reason for the travel, and the reason of just having the privilege to work with you is I've never, ever, ever forgotten Dino. And that's what we do this for, the Dinos of this world. And I want to thank my family, my wife Ann. I want to thank my children. I want to thank my grandchildren and their spouses and all the people, my sister and brother-in-law, all of them are here. And I want to thank the members of the MTM team. And I want to thank you. And I wanted my children and grandchildren tonight because Landon and Kylie and Audrey and Sydney, I wanted you to see the people I work with because I know that Big Guy leaves a lot. And I wanted you to see that I was trying to do some good. Thank you so much for this award. Love you.
You're getting a standing ovation, David. Come back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.